Hello, everybody. Welcome to the South Carolina Tea Party Coalition Convention. I'm Donna Fiducia.
And I'm Neuen, ladies and gentlemen, with Cowboy Logic Radio. Boy, have we had a riveting time. It's an amazing weekend that has ended with the absolute castration of one Ed Balls.
Ladies and gentlemen, the folks doing that work are none other than our good friends. On the right here we have Gregg Cummings. Now Gregg is the veteran, of course, of the Vietnam War and vice president of the U.S. First Defense Coalition. And to his right is Trevor Loudon, author and filmmaker and commie hunter. Okay? What happened here at the South Carolina Tea Party Coalition Convention is that Ed Balls, who is the British Labour Minister of Education and a member of the British Fabian Socialist Party, got up there and started confronting the Tea Party patriots that were here at the convention. Well, Gregg was not going to have that. So Gregg began to confront this gentleman in the hallway, and Trevor came in as well. First off, Gregg, I want to ask you, who did you confront here, again, as we said what his name was, at the South Carolina Tea Party event? But why do you feel the need to intervene with this guy?
Well, first of all, I'm not a Vietnam vet. I'm a Gulf War vet, but thank you for
My
the
apologies.
honor. I really do thank you for that honor. But there was no way on God's green earth I was going to let that man leave this building, because he is making a documentary. And he's following Pastor Boone around, and it was evident that he was going to use what he did here to mock the Tea Party movement here in America. So I went up there, and I actually started with a very simple question: what is your mission of your documentary once you get it done? And anybody who's doing a documentary already has an idea of what points they're wanting to make. And he came back and said, well, we don't really know. We're just recording right now. So I knew that was BS right off the bat. And so I confronted him. I started talking to him about what the Tea Party movement really is, who's doing the dividing. He tried to make it sound on stage like we are assisting in the dividing of America, which isn't true. The progressive movement is what's dividing America. And I wanted him to know that. As I'm talking to him, my good friend Trevor started coming up on the side, and I knew Trevor had my back, and Trevor has a plethora of information and background to do just that.
Let me interject here too, because Trevor wrote a book called The Enemies Within. I'm going to hold it up here for everybody to see. And this book outs the communists, socialists, and progressives in the U.S. Congress. This is a handbook. It actually needs to be updated, Trevor, because there's so many more in there too, because it just keeps happening. And what it is a coffee table book and a reference for anybody. So if anybody's going to know who the socialists are in the U.S. government, and then you have this guy from the British Fabian Socialist Party coming over here, again interjecting that leftist movement. And what gets me is they confront the right, and they blame the right because the best defense is a good offense.
Without a doubt.
And that is the problem. So, Trevor, what did you end up saying? What message do you think we're sending here to America?
Well, I think it was with Gregg intervening. It was really a battle of brains versus balls. And we made it very clear. And Gregg and I both pushed this argument. First, he tried to say America was a democracy. Well, Gregg made the point very strongly, and I added to it, that America is a constitutional republic. Democracy gives rights to the majority. A republic protects the rights of the individual, the God-given rights. He went on to say, we made the arguments that the Constitution is really a Judeo-Christian document. He tried to say it was a secular document. We also had a big debate about Islam. And I made the point that when I came to this country, I had to swear that I'd never been involved in any communist or Nazi organization that sought to overthrow the US Constitution. And that therefore a Muslim who believes in Sharia law, which is a totalitarian system, which says that you have to spread Allah's system of government in the land that you occupy, that means you are in direct opposition to the US Constitution and should not be allowed here. And Gregg backed me up on that. We had quite a debate with him. And we really, I think, made the point that America is exceptional and shouldn't be judged by European standards. That Europe has slipped into socialism, and we are here trying to stop America going down that same dirty, dark road.
And
what do you think, Gregg?
Yeah, there's one time during the debate that even though the debate going back and forth between Trevor and him was on the ideology of different religions, but Islam as a whole, he tried to turn it into a color thing, because then he used examples in Britain where a white man, is his words, killed somebody and blah, blah, blah. I stopped him and I said, did you see what you just did? You were talking about religions and ideology, and you turned it into a race thing. You turned it into a discussion of color to shut us down. And that's just a typical tool that the progressive movement across this planet is using against conservatives.
Yeah,
Essentially, that's what they're doing to Donald Trump right now, too.
Well, they are, and I think the whole purpose of this man's documentary is to look at America under Trump and show how racist it is, how xenophobic it is, how terrible it is. Because you would say things like, in Britain, we're really worried about the division in America, and we're worried that President Trump, by taking a hard line in North Korea, might, do some macho war type of thing. And it was, we are all worried in Europe. Well, it's not we are all worried, it's the British socialists that are worried, because British patriots and people who love their country are really on our side. And we wanted to make that point. And also, I made the point that, that he was trying to make the point that the exclusion ban from certain Islamic countries was a racist thing. Well, I said, is there any ban on Buddhists coming to this country? Any ban on Sikhs or Hindus? Nobody's demonstrating against Sikhs or Hindus. Nobody's demonstrating against Buddhists, because there are no Sikh suicide bombers. There are no Buddhist suicide bombers. Islam is the only religion, and it's really a political ideology masquerading as a religion. It's the only one that mandates the spreading of their faith by the sword, by force, which makes it a whole different thing. So we were saying that basically there is a problem with Muslims coming to this country, not because of their race, not because of their religion, but because of their totalitarian political ideology.
Amen. And I'd like to close with this, is the message to the rest of America, especially you patriots out there, especially you conservative champions out there. You cannot allow this kind of stuff to go without caring enough to confront. You don't have to confront in hatred. You don't have to confront being mean and threatening. Confront because you care enough about this country, you care about what we're championing, and make sure that they walk away with an education.
Gregg Cummings, and again, we thank you for your service in the Gulf War, Vice President of the U.S. First Defense Coalition, and Trevor Loudon, New Zealander, now American citizen. We need more immigrants like you. You're getting there. You're working on it.
Okay.
You're working on it the legal way.
Yeah.
Author, filmmaker, and now commie hunter as well.
Absolutely, a commie hunter. And it was great to be with Gregg. It was, I think the two of us made some really good points. Gregg initiated it. I didn't want to confront the guy, but once Gregg started, I just couldn't not jump in to help. I just had to correct this guy.
There you go. And you can watch that video also right here.